estate, and it's not just about you.
Okay.
And 4 stars for using emoji. It makes it look very, very interesting. So emojis and Instagram on the this top part here is really good. We need to have Paula do this too because she's
Yeah,
the
so
Instagram expert.
so I'm
Expert. Go
glad
ahead,
you mentioned that
Drew.
because I was gonna pull Paula's up. I want to show a comparison because some things jump out to me like immediately. So
Oh,
Paula
great.
is a good example, and as Beth Ellen said, this is lovingly critiquing, right? There's nothing to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. So it's just how we can improve. So one of the things that immediately jumps out, which to me, Julie, what I would do, so when you're providing content to people, there are rules, right? You go to school and you get the grammar rules. And let me share a little bit of background so everybody can understand where I'm coming from. I run a marketing agency and I like consult with and I deal with marketing and copywriting. I deal with these things like all of the time. I'm part of this high level mastermind, right? I paid a lot of money to be part of that mastermind and we help each other. We do stuff like this, like critiquing the marketing and helping it be better, right? So people from like ClickFunnels and magnetic marketing, stuff like that. Like, so I kind of have some idea of what I'm talking about. Now, I just want you to understand that. So there are rules when you go to school. You got to do your grammar this way. You got to do this, and those rules kind of go out the window when you're marketing, right? So one of the things that being critical of or that I'm pointing out is the people don't want to read a lot typically, right? So in school, you're supposed to structure your sentences in a certain way, but when you're marketing, it goes out the window. Maybe in the contracts, you keep it that way. When it comes to marketing, you have to make things as easy as possible for people. So of the two screens that we're looking at, we have Julie on the left, and then we have Paula on the right. And Paula nailed this part, like her Instagram and her bio. So Beth Ellen gave you a good critique about the using the emoji, but you can see over here on Paula, she's got a bunch of emoji and she's listing out different things. Right. So she has a really good page and it's much easier to read and it looks more interesting because she formatted it this way. So what I would do, Julie, is I would go in and I would model Paula's. I'm going to drop her link inside the chat for people. I would model her page if I'm doing Instagram. And I would try to generally model this structure on just about anything, like making things as easy as possible. So what's happening here is she's line breaking everything that she's saying. Every thought is a line break, right? So for you, Julie, if I come over here, full-time real estate professional is one line. With EXP Realty is another line. In Annapolis, I guess Maryland is another
Yes.
line as well. So I would start to break up my profile in that way that makes it easier for people to read. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, she has Linktree, and Linktree, you just have they only give you one link, so you have your EXP Realty. That's your KV Core. But if you use Linktree like Paula did, you can put all of them there, not just one. So I would substitute the one link you get for Linktree instead of KV Core. What do you think, Jerome?
So I agree 100%. The other thing you can do, I don't know why I think you tried to do it, but maybe Instagram is glitching out or something like that. But you got those hashtags. Paula has hashtags too. So click the link, you get one link, right? And like what I'm noticing is when you're marketing to people, we talk a lot about what it is we can do and what we want them to do, but we have to, marketing is a lot of empathy, right? So you have to empathize with these customers and you have to make things as easy as possible, these customers, these clients, right? So the reason why I'm mentioning that is because you're saying here, like we're saying on the left, we're saying click below, but on the right, we're saying click below for more information. So click below, the best way I can say it is that's a feature. Click below, but click below for what? What reason should I click below? Over here, it's not as vague as the other one, but we're still telling them to click below for more information. So why am I going to click for that? What am I looking for? To try to be more descriptive in describing or explaining or displaying the benefit of what they're going to get when they do whatever selected action, CTA, etc. So in Paula's case, it's saying click below for more info. I heard to be more descriptive, but it is a little more descriptive than just click below. Because when I'm going to click, we're all suspicious. Like, what am I clicking? This is a real estate agent. They're going to sell me something. They're going to collect my information. Why am I clicking below? Tell me what I'm getting into so I can get into that. And just a resource for everyone to kind of some of my foundation and some of my learning. A book that you may want to invest in is called Don't Make Me Think. It's a really great book on like you have to make this stuff as easy as possible for people. Like we're professionals and we think that this stuff is easy, but it's really not easy for people in general, and they don't want to think. So you have to make it as easy as possible, and you should always be working to make it as easy as possible for them. Does that help?
Yes. What is Linktree? Never heard of it.
It is a just if you visit the site, it'll tell you all about it. But in
Okay.
short terms, it's a link. It will allow you to provide multiple links on your post. So I'll pull it up for Paula really quickly. You only get that one link to Julie Shepard, right? If
Mm-hmm.
we go on Paula's thing, right? It's like it's an issue there. So Julie, make sure you check this. I think the www should not be there. So there might have been traffic running to your page, and they weren't able to get to your site. So I am techie enough to understand that that www should not be there, and I can navigate to your site. Right, but other people won't understand that. So what I would do is immediately go in and update this. The www should not be there. It should just be julieshepard.exprealty.com. So if it was correct, like I would go to your site, right? And this is what I get on your site. It's like, okay, she's taking me straight to a site where she can like sell me stuff or show me some properties, whatever it is, right? And this is okay for generic sites. Over here on Paula's thing, she's got the link tree and it's a little more pretty, it's a little more visual, it's a little more simple on what to do. So one of the things that we have to do is we need to really simplify these call to actions and simplify these actions that we want people to take. So if I was just if we're smart, right? We can figure this out. We know to put in single bath count. We know how to do all of this. But again, this is more overwhelming, right? To use this for like lead generation. It's a good website, okay, like a good storefront. But if we're like generating leads, this can be a little bit confusing, right? They might be interested in one specific property or something like that. This can be confusing. Over here, it's a little more simple. Yes, there are still several call to actions, but it's a little more simple and it's a little easier to understand.
Plus, your visitors get a whole view of you, not just your real estate view. So if we're curating the entire Julie, I went to I'm a LinkedIn creator, not an influencer creator that steps up, and they had a seminar for creators, the editors of who handle all the posts at LinkedIn, and they said that the biggest mistake people make on LinkedIn is they only talk about their job, and they said you are not your job. You are you. You are a full dimensional person. So that's why this link tree is so important, because it's showing all of Paula and you're just showing just the realtor side of you. Does
So
that make sense, Julie?
Yes.
One more
really,
comment, and then
yeah.
Matt wants us to do his.
Okay, really quickly, the name of the book is this. Make sure you find this author. His name is Stephen Krug or Krug. I don't know how to say it, but this is the name of the book. And this is where like I picked up a lot of expertise here on you have to make things simple because I'm a tech person, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always talking in our language, but we have to make this stuff as simple as possible for people. And this is a really good book to help you understand and give you even more detail on why a lot of the stuff that we're doing is incorrect. All right. So
Nick, you're third.
Nick's down SMTFL. Let me try to type that in. So, Julie, does that help you?
Yes. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're welcome. Nick down SM.
What about my content? What do you think I'm on cue with the content that I'm posting?
It's if we have time to look at the content, we will later. That's why I was asking, like, if you had like a post, I'll try to pull it back up. But
Okay.
based off what I saw, I can't really go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're looking at Matthews, I want to ask his question. How do you get your content in front of people? You just keep posting. And Jerome taught me this years ago. This was a hard thing for me to swallow, since I think I'm just so brilliant, is I know nothing, okay? What people want. They will tell you by the analytics. And Jerome taught me how to do the analytics. And every time I do a post or a blog, after a week, I look at the analytics. And same if you're doing Facebook ads, you look at the analytics. And the posts that I think are fantastic, that are important, nobody reads. And the stupid stuff that I do for fun, I get thousands of readers. So you can't pick what you like. You got to pick what your market likes, and you know that only from the analytics. So to answer your question, how do you get in front of stuff? How do you get in front of the non-followers is your followers are your tribe, and they will be your followers soon enough because you have so much in common. The best way to get in front of people is to look at the analytics and see what your people want and do more of that. And
Yeah,
I don't know what that is, but your numbers will tell you. You don't know that either, but the numbers will tell you. So I write about everything just to see. And then I look at the numbers and I zero in on what people want, regardless of whether I judgmentally think it's wrong that they should want that. Because that's not why I'm here. I want business. Did that
yeah.
answer your
So
question? Back to you, Jerome.
to the same tune of Beth Ellen, right? I always tell us, and I'm saying it in the most loving way possible, but always like also trying to be stern and make sure we get the message. This is not about us. This is about our customers. So we have to adapt to them and what they like, what they want to do. For a while, like I always post, I never had an issue with posting, but for a while, I just wasn't really interested in like Instagram reels or TikToks or dancing or anything like that. But recently I started to explore it, right? Because I do most of my stuff on YouTube. Recently, I started to explore it, and it gets a lot of views. It gets in front of a lot of people. So, to what Beth Ellen is saying, like you have to adjust. Like some of these, like 4,000, 100, like some of this stuff is because of what's trending and what other people want to see, and it makes no sense to me, but that's what they want to see. That's what they're clicking on. These are the things. So you can kind of see some of these numbers. What's really working in my case is using the Instagram reels and whatever is trending. I do that. So I find something that's popular and I try to make it relevant to my audience or relevant to a customer, relevant to a prospect. So that's what I do. You take something that's trending and silly, try to figure out a way to adapt it to your business, and you kind of go from there. Like once I stopped thinking like, oh my God, I don't want to do this, once I stopped being as selfish, it started to work. So it's not really about us. We're in this business. We're in here to make money as a benefit of serving others, right? We still have to serve and help those other people. And the way we do that is by being more selfless. All
All
right.
right, Jerome, I want to point something else here is jeromelewis.com/links. That's your link tree, right?
It is a version of it. Yes.
Yes, so he even customized the program he used, customized that so it didn't have all that gobbledygook like hers did. It has all the links.
Yeah.
So that's really good, something to point out. Okay, Nick, go ahead.
Nick, tell us if there's something specific you want us, because to be honest, like your overall Instagram profile is you're doing really good here. So there's not much we can say on this part. So do you have a specific post that you would like us to critique? Like this is like excellent right here. Like maybe you can add in some more stuff, but I don't see like a lot of room for improvement. I guess maybe, right? And I'm just saying maybe because this is really good. Maybe you can hashtag some of these um, terms, such as Tampa might be a good hashtag, golf beaches might be a good hashtag, realtor may be like it depends on what you want to do, but you're doing an excellent job with this general profile.
If you have room, you might add one thing that's um, part of your tribe and not real estate related. But yeah, you've got the emojis. It's easy to understand. 4 stars.
Okay, then I guess my biggest thing I'm focusing on with a mentor as well as in my videos themselves, like getting focusing more on like the call to action, I guess, or to get people to actually
Awesome.
follow the page.
Awesome. So I was hoping that you said so that's more specific, but do you have like an example of like one of these posts that we can kind of click on and get them to, like you said, like a call to
Um,
action?
yeah, I guess if you go down that third row, I have a staging post here to the right.
This one?
Uh, either that either that one or the one to the right.
Which one? This one?
Sure.
Okay, so what I would do here is like I already know this is like marketing. Let me see. So let's see. All right. So can you see? Right. Let's pay attention to what's going on here. I like your reels too. I see you're tapping into those, but
Hmm.
um, generally. All right, so I'm looking at these numbers, right? And I'm trying to show us like the advertising that people don't like and people are ignoring as well as the social media. So, right, this is essentially a very real estate centric marketing post. And I'm not saying don't do these, but check out the numbers on this. We got 9 likes here, right? But if I go up to like your more personal one with you in it and your daughter or the young lady, it's 18 likes. If I go up to this one, it's 25. These generally, right, these market-based posts, they don't get as much traction as the post with you in it, right? And there's a lot of psychology. This is why we need to be doing video. You can see we're hovering over like Nick's his videos with him in them are getting more traction typically because he's
Hmm.
in it and it's different. So that's one thing. Now with the specific call to actions, because you still need this stuff, what I would do, like my input is I would go in and on this post. So the same concept I'm talking about when we're talking about like the Instagram like setting up this stuff, I would try to build out my post the same way. So like this is a lot to read and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I would start trying to break it up into a um called chunks. I would start breaking that up there
Okay.
um and maybe so this is the call to action here. I would make the call to action stand out a little more. I would probably find like maybe an emoji. The color red is really good for a call to action. So maybe find like some kind of red emoji, or maybe even the yellow works sometimes too, like the finger pointing. I would try to draw some attention there. So first break it up because this is a lot for people to read. Like believe it or not, like I think the average reading level is like fourth grade or something like that. So this is a lot to read, and it's not
Fifth
about
grade.
it's not a consumption, but okay, fifth grade. It's not this is a lot to read for a lot of people. So I would just break it up as much as possible. When it looks like this in a chunked out format like that, people are much more likely to read it, right? So I learned this in like speed reading, and I'm still not a good speed reader, but the longer we have to go across, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, 7, 8, 9, 10, the longer we have to go across, our eyes are actually working, and our eyes get tired. When we do it like
Mm.
this over here, our eyes don't have to work as hard. It's like, okay, I'm doing this, and then I jump down. I do that, then I jump down. It's much easier to consume that content. So that's where I would start. Look at the massive transformation of this home. Um,
I'd also like to add something about the call to action when you're done.
go for it, because I'm trying to
Okay,
think
I
about.
can't remember who did the study, but I wrote down the numbers. Oh, it came from a BombBomb webinar that BombBomb analyzed results and call to actions. You know, they specialize in realtor stuff, and they found that they had a 300% increase in call to action click throughs if they were 4 words. Let me repeat that. A 300% increase in call to action click throughs that were 4 words. The number 2 was 7 words, and number 3 was 6 words. So that this is analytics that's underlying what Jerome just said, that 4 words is what the call to action should be if you want it to be responsive. Back to you, Jerome.
Thank you. And so there are like within marketing, right? Because we're running a business, but we have to do some marketing stuff. So within marketing, there are like multiple frameworks and different ways you can kind of attack things. So I used to use these, and you might want to write this stuff down if you have notes. Write these things down. So there are two general frameworks that you can use in marketing. The first one is called AIDA. Let me try to type that in the chat. And the second one is called PAS. So those are two general frameworks that you can have, so you can kind of address everything that a person needs to, or you can address like pain points within a document or something like that. Those are general frameworks that you use. So the one I like to use is because it's simpler, right? Because 3 is simpler than 4 is the PAS. And what that stands for, like with your marketing, is problem, agitation, solution, right? And you can switch it up. You can make it headline, information, call to action, or something like that. But that's a general framework. So the PAS that I generally use when I'm writing my copy, right? Because when you're this is copywriting. When you're writing copy, people identify more emotionally than they do like logically, right? So that's one thing. The other thing that they do is they will run away. They are quicker to avoid pain than they are to run towards happiness. So problem, agitation, solution is a good framework that you can apply to like anything. So maybe you don't have to do this, but if there was me, I would probably try to figure out like what are some of my customers or my clients' frustrations, right? Like within this listing, how can I address and touch on those frustrations that they're having as an example? So problem, like what's the problem? What's the problem here that's coming up? Um, Not listing photos correctly or something like that as an example. I don't know exactly what the call to action or the intent of the post was, but that's what I would do. All right. Then I would A is agitation, like you agitate the problem a little bit. You don't want to do this because of whatever. And then the S is the solution. Like what is the solution? That is the CTA. The solution is this: click here or schedule a consult with me. So that's the one that I generally use because it's simple, but you can also use the AIDA. And I don't have enough time to explain each of those in details. You can rotate and switch them around, but you can Google them and there will be plenty of articles that talk about and discuss this stuff.
Jerome, James is next.
All right.
So James, do you want to tell us what you want us to look at?
Nick, is that helping? Did we serve you, Nick?
That did, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, the biggest thing, Nick, since we didn't have like a specific post, is people like you, right? And that's in general. People like us. They don't care about our marketing. We do have to do some of the marketing, but more we can add ourselves in there, the better. And maybe we do something like, so with your marketing, you say you maybe you make a video like this. I don't know what it's about yet, but then you throw in this video after it, and then you throw another video on the end of it or something like that. But because like these are, and I try not to talk too much, but these are like generally like when we're scrolling on Facebook too, this catches my attention. You like seeing you because humans want to see other humans. Like when I'm scrolling through your page, the pictures of you jump out more than the other pictures. There's like
And
some
people
human,
like kids and dogs,
yeah. Okay,
kids and pets.
so there you go. Hope that's helpful, Nick.
Definitely, thank you.
You're welcome.
James, you're next. Open up your microphone and tell us how you want to help us. How you want us to help you.
Absolutely. Me, correct?
Yes, you.
Okay,
You are
good, good,
next.
good. Okay, good. Basically, something that I have been doing for almost a year now is trying to drum up business on both sides of the transaction by going around and doing 360 tours. I'm able to do this because I got like a 360 GoPro, and it's really convenient instead of getting a $10,000 machine. But just to move forward fast, pretty much right now, the incentive for me is to actually get sales. So when it's not my listing, I make sure, hey, this isn't my listing. I do have their permission. Call them if you have questions, or let me represent you. Blah blah blah. If not, no hard feelings. And really, I'm trying to position myself with a lot of these videos as a buyer's agent potentially. Something that I do, obviously, it is posted on YouTube, but as well as that, I blast it on Facebook. I don't have an Instagram for my real estate business. Done that yet. But I was wondering pretty much just what would be a way that you would approach with this type of content. How would you approach distributing it?
You don't need Instagram is one, but do you have like a Facebook page or digital
Yes.
presence where you're doing this? Okay,
Yes,
what is that?
Yeah, so it is. I just I have Facebook. I'm on Google, and I'm on YouTube.
Okay, which one would you rather us?
If you wouldn't mind going to the YouTube, that's okay. But the Facebook is James McNamara Real Estate.
Facebook will
while you're
probably be easier because it's like we don't have to watch videos, maybe.
Okay, while you're deciding which one, as the former designated managing founding broker for Nevada, at least in Nevada, you have to have written permission from the broker and the listing agent to use their pictures.
Okay.
So I don't know what the rule is in your state, but our real estate division gives big fines. And I have never had anybody say no because you're doing free marketing for them, but just be careful.
Okay, understood.
All right, so James, so one of the things I want people to like, so when I first entered, when I was first on the screen, I had it in like dark mode, and that's for me. Generally, just as another copywriting thing, like when the background is dark and the letters are light, that is called reverse copy. So it's more copywriting stuff. Generally, you don't want to serve people marketing or content in that way. So that's something that, as an example, this might be a version of reverse copy, like this red with the white. So generally, you want to give people white with dark text, and white and black is ideal. So just sharing that because I come in dark mode, I like that, but I understand that I can't. Just because I like it doesn't mean everybody else can like it. Reverse copy is harder to read than normal copy. So that's just a tip for everybody, a generic tip about design and getting people to read things. Now, and I switch because I'm about to critique and I'm about to show you something, and it's easier if I show you on the in the right format. So white background, dark text. All right. So James, ask me your question again, kind of.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just trying to put out content of 360
Okay.
tours, and basically just trying to attract buyers to use me, hopefully, for the
Okay.
transaction if they are interested.
I want to
Oh,
interrupt. Why would a
Sure.
buyer care about a 360 tour?
Well, and that would basically come into question with how they are viewing it. Something that I have access to is a lot of, and obviously, everybody else could have that, but local Facebook pages where there is actually a community of people, at least 1,000 people, most of them a lot more than that. But they are active on it every day. So I have probably 9 or 10 different local Facebook groups that I pretty much just pump a lot of this content through.
Well, this sounds like a great thing for a seller, but if I'm a buyer, why you still haven't answered to me why, as a buyer, I would care.
Do you mean about me specifically, or just the
No,
video?
you are saying that you have this great, amazing photographic skill and equipment, which to me, for a listing agent, would be amazing. But buyers today are worried about interest rates and price. So why would this skill be important? Explain to me as a buyer why 360 pictures, why I should use you because you can take 360 pictures.
so I'll let me try. So James, here's where I was like Julie. I'm like, why would I click that? What is the benefit? So Beth Ellen is right, and she's actually very nice about it. Because she's saying something. So you have to, and you can kind of do this. It depends on your experience, but it's like, what is the benefit for the customer or the prospect? So as an example, the benefit, right? Like James, you sit down, you do some work. The benefit is, uh, you don't have to go out and view tours like live anymore. You stuck at work. Guess what? I can give you a 360 tour about anything that you want. Right? You can visit these properties virtually. Is an example.
Okay.
Does that help? Is that starting to get like clear on like what's the benefit? The benefit is you're at work, you're stuck at work, you're trying to buy a house, but you can't visit all these properties. Well, guess what? You can visit right from the comfort of your desk. That's a
Absolutely.
benefit. Beth
Yes.
Ellen, is that helping or
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
good?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I'm
Okay.
just, that was a rhetorical question.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a good question though because we have to be more benefit focused. So that's a benefit. That's one of the benefits that I just thought of on the fly, but that's how you do it, James. I would start the position like stop going out and visiting properties the same old way like everybody else used to do too, right? That's me tapping into my natural problem agitation, right? Touching on those pain points. How about so problem is you want to buy a house, but you're stuck at work, you're locked down, and you can't get to all these appointments. Well, I understand how frustrating that is, and that's why we have right. That's the agitation. I understand how frustrating it is. You're trying to get somewhere. You're trying to get ahead in life. That's my agitation. I'm agitating them. Then my solution is I have this excellent feature, right? 360 tours. You can visit the properties at the comfort of your own home. That's the solution.
I
So
have
that's
even a better way because having done this for 42 years, I hate to sound like an old fogey, but I am. You walk into a house that looks great on pictures and it reeks because of cat pee.
yep.
So why don't you say It's a buyer's market. There are so many homes to see with such desperate sellers, and you don't want to spend ages picking which houses to visit. I can photograph the houses you're interested in, and once you select the few that you really want to go, we will go look. I will save you time and hassle of schlepping around in the August heat or the snow in February or wherever it is, and you can see all the houses you want, but you only have to visit the few because I can take these kind of pictures. That
Awesome.
would make me happy.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's very helpful.
Yeah. So
Very helpful.
just to give you a little more, James, based off your page, like, cause it's like bothering me a little bit, right? So I would try to get away from these YouTube links. I would try to add in the actual media. So
Upload directly to.
yeah, I would try to upload directly too, and I would try. It's hard to figure out exactly how much content you give them, but I would probably go like short form. Like maybe I'll give them like just a picture of a specific room or a video of a specific room, and then say if you want more, sign up for my list, and then collect their information so I can continue to. Julie, this is for you, so I can continue to remarket and retarget to them, right? And ideally, you want to collect as much information as possible. Email and name is cool, but you want to try to get the phone number, you want to try to get the address, etc. There's an art to it, so you have to adjust and you have to play. Some people are not going to want to add all that information, and that's okay. You might not get as many leads, but collect as much information as you can, and then you can remarket and retarget to them. So, furthermore, James, what I would do
Can
is
I
just
add one more thing though?
yes,
The
yes,
the YouTube guy, to totally underscore what you said. The YouTube hedge fund guy said they want native content only, and if you put on your TikToks, they ignore you. And TikTok pretty much says we don't want your YouTube stuff. So that's why it's best that you. I recommend, and Jerome, you can tell me what you think about this. I do everything native on my phone, stored in my computer, and upload it to each social media medium in the format they like. So the algorithms, plural, will like it more.
yeah.
Understood.
I
What do you
I
think, Jerome?
I agree 100%. And what I would do further, this is one of the reasons why I like video. So I do a lot of video content, and I use who is that? Sergio. You might want to think about this and hold on to this tool. I use this, and Nick has talked about it before. There are other versions of it. He likes uh, StreamYard, but I like to do video content, and because I do video content, I use Restream, and Restream will stream my videos natively to different platforms at once. So that's what I like to do, and that's one of the, like, I'm all about efficiency. I'm doing that because like I need to produce content on all of these mediums at the same time, but I don't have the time for it, right? So I'm like, all right, let me do a video so it can be everywhere, right? And it's uploading and going to those platforms natively. So Sergio, I would think about investing in either StreamYard or Restream. And James, for you further on your page, so you're getting what we're saying here. What I would do further is like we talked about in the other Instagrams, like breaking out the text a little bit more. Like it's okay to add in like white space, and you don't have to be proper. Those rules go out the window when it comes to marketing. You want to make this as easy as possible for people, and you might get some grammar credit. It doesn't matter. If are they paying you? They're not paying you. Don't worry about what they're saying. So I would get away from the YouTube links, and I would get stuff in here upload it natively. I do like this red though. So red it catches attention. I like this. I don't know how we would use it, but keep that in mind. Okay, that's helpful.
All right, so this seemed really popular, and we didn't get to everybody. So let's do this. Let's make the fourth Thursday of every month. Jerome and I will do critiques, and then just PM me on Workplace, and I will put an order so you can know what if you're going to be that month. And we will do this the fourth Thursday of every month because everybody can learn from this, and we would love to help you. Jerome, tell us about social media and branding today, marketing implementation today, please.
So marketing and implementation, I'm actually don't know what we're doing in that class. I haven't heard from Nick, and I told him, so I have to find out. If Nick doesn't show up, I'll probably do a presentation around video marketing, how you can do video marketing, and we'll kind of go from there.
All
So
right,
I haven't talked from Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same place in 1 hour. All right, well, we have 3 more minutes. Any more questions? Because we don't have time to go through anybody else, but I learned lots, so this was really fun. And
Yeah, this
Jerome
was
has
fun. I
given
like
away-
this, and I just want everybody to know that even me, like as like I started, however I started, like years ago. Even me, like I'm part of a mastermind. I paid like literally tens of thousands of dollars to be part of it, and I still get critiqued. Right, I still get critiqued, and it's like, oh, your stuff. Like some people might see my stuff and like that's awesome, but I still get critiqued. So it's an ever-changing process. This stuff constantly changes. So go apply what you're learning and what you're getting, and then come back, and it's just going to keep improving. So.
When we looked at the Instagram pages and we had the 2 different realtors have the link to the website, one had a more personalized. Do you guys have a recommendation on who to have build up your website or a preference?
Like build out your website, you said?
So we had one that just linked, and I think it went straight to the KV Core when she went to her listings. And then with the other realtor, I think her name was
Paula. So we
Paula.
had Julie, and then we had Paula. She just used her general EXP website,
Yes.
and Paula had a link tree.
Yes.
So it wasn't really her website, it was a link tree. So you don't
So
have to
her
do a
link
lot of
tree brought
building.
her to the website. And so I'm just wondering if you guys have a preference or had any experience with websites or companies, and if you have any recommendations.
Wait, when you say web, because that's why I'm like, you have to be. So Linktree is a website, but you don't have to do a lot of building, and you don't have to. All you have to do is go and plug and play some stuff in there. Like, oh, I want this, and this in there.
Yeah, Linktree, you just add the URLs.
Yeah, it's not like you're not going into like building an entire website with Linktree.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And
So
is it still free, Jerome?
yeah, they have a free version. So the short answer, Rachel, what I would do is I would probably go get a link tree, and if you want to go further and be like more serious, then I would start thinking about like, okay, who can I get to kind of build out a website for me? So as an example, I like my page, like Beth Ellen. So I have a version of Linktree. So Paula's Linktree is like this. This is her Linktree. We're gonna go to her Linktree. This is her Linktree, and um, you can kind of see some of her stuff. It looks a little bit prettier than the typical website and this typical stuff that we're doing. She does have a lot going on, like a lot of call to actions, which can overwhelm people, but that's that. Now my kind of link tree is a variation of it. Looks like this. It's much simpler, right? It's not the prettiest, but it's simpler, right? You won't get lost. So this is like an actual website that my company built, but is still simple, right? You don't have to go explore and do all of this stuff. It's also like a more generic thing than like a call to action too. So we have EXP has given us enough. Like we got all. I always say we have everything that we need here within EXP. So you got a website, you got KV Core, and you don't really need to get a website built if you utilize those tools correctly. So KV Core has like specific landing pages that you can use to get customers and prospects interested in your thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, this was a great session. We're going to do this again because this was so fun. Thank you, Jerome, for sharing your amazing knowledge. And we will see you in an hour, and we can't wait. And thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in an hour.
Great, thank you.